Hello, everybody. Good evening. I hope you are well. Welcome to another episode of the Atomic Self-Love Project. And tonight, I am with a very special guest, and we are going to talk about feeling not good enough and how to raise your self-confidence so you can get results. For those of you, hi Michelle, hi Lynn. So let us know where you're hailing from. I am hailing from the on the border of New South Wales and Queensland in Australia, and my guest tonight is all the way from Singapore, so it is in the afternoon for her. And I don't know where you are in Australia, but it has been torrential raining today, and I heard there's some flooding going on all the way down from Hunter Valley all the way down up to the Gold Coast. So wherever you are, I hope you are keeping safe in this Sunday afternoon. And if you are, hi Michelle from New Zealand, how's it going over there? And if you're in America, I hope that you are doing well as well, because we have some American friends that watch tonight, and it's going to be very, very early for them. So it just goes to show, when you feel like connecting with like-souled and like-minded people, time is not really an issue. And for those of you who are here tonight for the first time, the Atomic Self-Love Project is a show dedicated to giving you multiple resources on how to transform and really get into a state of empowered healing. So people or women and men who are seeking change, could be transitioning between relationships, between jobs, between life stages, from becoming a mom or into an empty nester, or having new children into new relationships. There are so many modalities that are available to us, in terms of how we can heal our old wounds and how we can transform. And what I've learned through my own lessons in life, really, and through my own conversations with my clients, is that there is no one size fits all kind of healing and transformation. It's up to you to really recognize what works for you, and you can even stack them. So whether you are someone who is thriving with traditional healing modalities or alternative healing modalities, and many of them, and stack that with mindset, with meditation, and with a lot of knowledge and a lot of inspiration and motivation from people who have really made a difference and are making a difference and are dedicating their life to continue to make a difference. That's why we offer you in the Atomic Self-Love Project different people. And last week we've had a profiling specialist, Alan Stevens, and so many people have given so much great feedback on what Alan had to share when it comes to the importance of observation and profiling your other half, so you can have a better relationship moving forward. So I'm excited tonight because we are talking about not being good enough and how to increase your self-confidence so you can get results. Because have you ever wondered, a lot of times in life, we come to a point where we think no matter how much we know and no matter how much we do, it seems that for the life of us, results are not so easy to get, while there are people out there who are just flowing, and you wonder, what is the difference? What's the difference between other people getting results when you know the same thing and you do the same thing and you have the same access to the same resources? What is the difference? And tonight we are going to unpack that. We're going to uncover that with my guest. So let me just see who we've got here tonight online. Kavita from so let us know where you're hailing from, Kavita. And tonight I am not going to be able to take a card out for you, my love, but next week I will. So you have a question about, well, whether you would like to know if you're going to find another job anytime soon because you've lost yours. You know what? Sometimes the answer may not be in the card, because this is what I know. The answer is always inside of you, Kavita, and it's just up to you to open up to that answer. So I invite you to tune in tonight, because we are going to talk about some important self-awareness aspects that might allow you to actually connect to the answer to the question that you've just posed right now tonight with me. So we've got Julia. Hi, Grace. Thank you for putting me in contact with Alan last week. I had a great conversation with him, and he'll be profiling my son over the next couple of weeks. That's amazing. I love to hear that, Julia. And I'm glad that you've been able to get so much value out of the Atomic Self-Love show last weekend. And I'm so happy to have you here tonight again. Um, So going good in New Zealand, Michelle says. Kate is also from New Zealand. And Wendy, welcome back, Wendy. I see you almost every weekend and I love having you. Um, so you are, tonight you have questions about finances. Great question, because our guest tonight is an abundance coach and a wealth strategist all the way from Singapore. So tune in, Wendy, because you're going to get some really valuable insights about financial abundance tonight. And Rebecca would love a reading. Tune in, Rebecca, because a card is not the only way you can get some answers. Have a listen to Farah and I tonight, and we've got Kathy Gibbons. We've got also Sandy. Okay, so um, if some of you who are regulars here, you know what trolls are, so just ignore them. And we've got Noor tuning in all the way from Malaysia. Wow, welcome. That is exciting. Polly from the Gold Coast, my hometown. Okay, so without further ado, allow me to introduce my guest tonight. Now, Farah began her career in the banking industry as a business data analyst in project management. But despite having a reputable profession with a comfortable paycheck, she felt unfulfilled. Have you ever felt that way? I was a banker myself for a long time, and I had like kind of a similar feeling. One day, Farah, upon seeing a job ad for a math Olympiad trainer, she followed her instincts and decided to apply for the teaching opportunity, and that's when her journey as an educator began. So Farah is now the CEO and founder of SG Math Tutor, her own tuition services. She is also an abundance coach and wealth strategist and has helped many Muslim women take charge of their finances and achieve financial freedom. Her strong passion and commitment to excellence has garnered the Singapore Prestige Class Award and Aspiring Woman Entrepreneurs Award for 2020 to 2021. And I'll give you a little one fun fact about my guest Farah tonight. She actually loves to buy clothes that don't need ironing because time is so important. And like I'm wearing one right now. It's a material called Georgette. You just put it on, good to go. So I think that's very, very practical and very, very wise. So welcome, Farah. Are you with me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hi.
I can. How are you?
Good, Grace, good. How are you? And how
I'm
are all of you
good.
guys?
Yeah, so thank you for being with me this afternoon for you and tonight. Now, this conversation is on the surface, it's
Hmm.
very young. Like it's all about the outer world. It's all about what we can get as results. It's all about what we manifest. But you know, the truth
Yeah,
of the matter is, it's also very inward. It's also very yin, because as you know, Farah, what manifests outside of us is nothing but a reflection of what's inside of us. And that's why
exactly.
when you told me the topic of our talk tonight, not good enough, how to raise your self-esteem so you can get results, I was really excited because for one, felt felt that way for a long time until I found out that was exactly how I felt. So diagnosis of exactly what I was feeling was key to me, and also the decision to commit to myself to how to change that, how to heal, and how to transform. So tonight, please share with us a little bit more about you, because I'll share a little bit more about how I met you. So we've met now 2 years ago, I think it was, in
Yes.
Singapore, on a boot camp weekend, and I was on an audience, and Farah was on stage, and she was speaking about empowering Muslim women. And for those of you who don't know me, I came from a small town in the Philippines, the southern Philippines, called General Santos City. And although Philippines is majority a Catholic country, I was in a town where a lot of my friends were from the Muslim community. So I know I am very familiar with it. And when I was listening to Farah speak on stage 2 years ago, and she was talking about empowering women and particularly Muslim women, my heart was really touched because it was close to my heart. My friends, people that I know, and people that I've grown up with. And so I was just moved by her, just by the depth of what she wants to do. And so 2 years later on, here we are on the Atomic Self-Love Project. I'm talking to you
Yeah.
ladies. So Farah, give us an insight about who Farah is and how you became so passionate about abundance, and just helping other people.
Well, it basically the reason why I got into, women empowerment and especially helping Muslim women is because of my own backstory. So I grew up in a relatively average family, but I realized that a lot of Muslim women, they don't even have dreams. So they are not even thinking about themselves, or some of them have dreams, but they've, just put it aside or dropped it out because their focus is more on helping others. So serving like their family, serving the husband. So my mission is basically to reignite that flame, to start back the spark, to make sure that they remember their dreams and they chase after their dreams and they be brave, have courage to do what they want, and be whomever they want. So that's my mission.
Yeah, I think that's a very noble. Does not even cut it, right? That word noble. I think it's a very, it's a beautiful mission to be able to help someone to dream again. I mean, I know of many women who has lost their dreams for themselves because there are a few different reasons. And like you shared, Farah, in the Muslim community, it's not only in the Muslim community, it's actually very prevalent
Yes.
in many, yeah, cultures. Like
Mm,
women tend to sacrifice their own dreams because of a cultural upbringing that we are women,
exactly.
we
Yeah.
are I think the word is subservient
Subservient.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, subservient to men, to prioritize their dreams, and we are here to support. And so, and and um and I think, a lot of women come to a place where they just give it up, and they accept the
Yes.
fate. But I think what you're saying is that you see you see pain hidden in that acceptance. You see a sense of loss. Who am I? What do I really want? So tell us
Yeah.
more about the lost dreams, of the people that you have helped so far. How do you help them find themselves again in terms of dreams?
Okay. Well, basically, I think, just to add on to what you said earlier, sometimes it's because we um, just forget about our dreams, or we put it aside. But sometimes it's just because like you're too busy with life, too busy with especially women, they're juggling a lot of hats, and especially if you're a mom and if you have kids, so you one day you're wearing, sometimes you're wearing the wife hat, and then sometimes you're wearing the cook hat when you're cooking, or sometimes you're wearing the mommy hat when you're parenting. So it's just a lot of things get in the way, and uh, you know being too busy with being busy, it's one of the main reasons that we forget our dreams, or we don't pay attention to it, or we don't put any effort into chasing our dreams. So the people I've been working with, because I'm okay, let me just tell a bit of a story about what I do. So right now, I am a math tutor as well as a like abundance coach and wealth strategist. So I'm holding two roles in a way. So I'm helping the kids with their math, um, and I'm also helping the adults with their financial knowledge and taking charge of their finances. So some of the people that I met during the financial consultations, often I realize, especially when it comes to women, um, when I ask, what is your financial goals, so often they'll tell me, I don't have any goals, or I don't know, like I've never thought about it. So this is some of the common things I get when I talk to women, especially Muslim women.
Wow. Yep. So when it comes to feeling not good enough and not having this the confidence to get results, you mentioned about we're too busy being busy. I feel like
Yes,
sometimes we use the being busy as a cover up to
exactly.
justify us not following our dreams, to justify us not being brave enough to really put it out there that we are someone who deserves to do and be and to have the full potential that is within us. So if
Yes.
I was if someone said to you, I've never thought about it, or I don't have any goals, or I don't have any dreams, how do you help them from there? Because I feel like that's a place of, they're just words, but really I feel like that's a cry for, can you please
For
help
help.
me how to find myself? Yeah.
Exactly. It's a cry for help. And the funny thing is that they don't even realize that they need help until, someone like me comes along and asks them a question like so. So it's basically the lack of awareness, I would say. So there's lack of awareness that you are in a situation where you're on a loop, like on a cycle. So let me just ask you guys who are watching right now, have you ever felt that you're living your life day in, day out, same routine over and over again? Monday you wake up, you go to work, and then you finish work, you come back home, you go to sleep. The next day you wake up again, and again and again and again. And then Friday you look forward to the weekend. So on Thursday you're looking forward to Friday, right? And then on Friday you're looking forward to the weekend. And then on Sunday you suddenly feel depressed because Monday is coming back again. So, have you ever felt like that? So, you see,
I
a lot
have.
of,
Yeah.
yeah, you have? Okay. So, the thing is, when you don't know your way, or when you have not aligned your values to your career or what you're doing, when you have to first align your goals with your career, right? Whatever you choose to do. Because if you don't, then you're just living day in, day out, same thing over and over again. And it's just a matter of time before you feel burnt out. So that's why, we see a lot of cases where people, like employees, are getting burnt out. So the reason why is because they don't know why they're doing what they're doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That is
So that's the thing.
yeah. So when I said I felt that way years and years ago in corporate, I used to do the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, it's great to have a job when you are aligned with the job. So I want to explore what you said. It's important that you align what you're doing, whatever that is, whether that's a volunteer role, that's a job or a business, whatever you're doing,
Mhm.
align it with your goals that are in your heart. I think we are talking about heart
Yes.
goals, one that matters to
Yes.
you. And so, Farah, my question, because we have, there are so many women out there that are just doing the Monday to Friday because they need to pay the bills, because
Mm,
they need to pay the debts, because
mm,
that's what else are they going to do? They don't know
yeah.
anything else that can be there
And
for them. So how is that? How do you align the heart to what you're doing?
very good question. And I'm just, let me just say this. I'm not trying to tell you to quit your job and go for your dream straight away. That's not what I'm trying to say. Don't quit your job straight away and jump for it. What you need to do instead is, with the job that you have, right? Look into the why. So when it comes to, living a life full of purpose and success, to me it comes down to three things. So I call it the three sets. So first thing, you have to have the right heart set, the right mindset, and the right skill set. So some of us, we have the skill set, we're good at what we do, right? But we don't have the heart in it. Our heart is not in it. And our mind maybe not in it as well. So it's when you have only one thing and not the rest. That's when there's a disalignment. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah. It's like having that aligned line
Yeah.
here, like your mind, your heart, and your soul inside. And a
Yes.
very
Correct.
important point when you said that you're not to jump from quit your job now and go find my life purpose,
No,
because the
no,
one
please don't do that.
that dangerous. The one thing about life purpose is that, let me just I just want to I said it, I think I've said this last week as well, is that it might have been a different show, but yeah, purpose, we seem to be led to believe that purpose is out there, that we have to go and look for it. Like, where is it? We scramble around wishing
Mm,
for it, looking for it, praying for it, when the
yeah,
purpose really is you, is us. This is it. You were
exactly.
born, and that's the purpose: to evolve, to be your highest self, to be your full potential, to love you. It's a fluid evolution, and so your purpose
Mm,
is right there. So it's just so I guess it's so important when you say, what if the heart set is not there, the skill set may be
yeah,
there, the
yeah,
mindset may be half and half. Okay, so
yes,
there seems to be a process of transition that needs to happen. Now I'm
exactly.
really, I'd really love for you to let us know, in this process of transition, how do I, if I'm not aligned fully, and I've got a husband going on, I've got children going on, I've
Mm-hmm.
got a job going on, I've got personal issues going on, how do I manage all of these? What's like one or two everyday techniques that I can always go back to, so that I can develop that sustainable self-awareness and
Mm.
grow into my beautiful self? How do you do that?
I think most important is reflection and self-awareness. So if you are one of those who are burnt out, or getting to be burnt out, you need to first stop and reassess. Do I love my job? What am I doing? Like, why do I like doing what I'm doing? If I do, or if I don't, why do I not like what I'm doing? So I think it's the main thing is to first be aware whether or not you have a problem. And if, let's say, you are aware that you have the skill set but your heart's not in it, I would say, delve deeper into understanding yourself, like what you like and what you love or what you don't like. So often, right, like when you mentioned about purpose, so you're right, people look at purpose as an external factor, and some people look at purpose as a career. So they think that, oh, my purpose is to be a, let's say, yoga teacher, or a meditation instructor, or a banker, maybe. So it purpose is not tied to a job specifically. It's more how you conduct your job, or how you um, carry yourself, as you do your job. So it could be, you could still feel fulfilled in as a banker if you realize, where you can get the same value that's aligned to your goals or aligned to your purpose. For example, okay, let's say your main value is you love to help people. So it doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing, as long as you get to help people. So you can get the value in that. So, in other words, don't be too restricted in thinking that purpose is tied to a particular job scope. It's not. So it's more on how you carry yourself in your day-to-day tasks in that job.
Yeah, so true. I remember 5.5 years ago when I first met my partner, we went on a date. It's our first lunch date. And he asked me, he said, what's your purpose? It's a funny question for a guy to ask, but he's a deep and meaningful kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
What's your purpose? And I thought it was the first time someone asked me that, actually. So I thought about it. And the only thing I could say was like, I said to him, I clearly remember saying to him, my purpose is to love. And it's just whether or not I know how to do that is a different issue, but I know
Mm,
that's my purpose. And it was true, because I know that at the time I was very, very aware that I wanted to learn more self-love, to really appreciate myself more. And and I just, that is just a feeling. It's a deep, deep value. So whether I do that this way or I do it this way, as long as the purpose
yeah,
is being recognized and it's being outflowed, and that's how you, so there is no one box for, oh, here's my purpose. And
yeah.
so
There's no one box for it.
yeah, So we have tonight, Farah, we have a couple of people that are, I'm looking at some of the comments here. For example, Wendy is saying that some older people can't find work. I think someone, she's also asking a question, will I ever own my own home again in this crazy real estate market at the moment? So generally around
Mm,
around the financial wellness, I suppose. So being a wealth strategist, wow, this is
yeah.
as an abundance coach and wealth strategist, what does abundance mean for you? What does that word mean?
Okay. Abundance to me is gratitude. Basically, you are grateful for what you have, and yet at the same time, you are open to receive more. So it's about gratitude plus being open to receive. So the thing about, coming back to the topic of our talk, which is how to increase your self-confidence, right? So a lot of us, we feel like we are not good enough. So what we're doing is we're actually restricting ourselves by thinking that we're not good enough. So abundance isn't able to come into our life because of that. So it's more of, changing your mindset, changing your frequency to feel that you are worthy, to receive abundance, and then abundance will come. It doesn't work the other way around. You don't wait for money to come in and then feel grateful. You have to be grateful for what you have now, and then the abundance will come.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So changing the frequency through the channel of gratitude. There's this thing called be, do, have, and
Hmm.
it's not have, do, be. So you don't have the wealth
No.
and be grateful. You be grateful, and then you have whatever it is that your heart desires. So
Yes.
I love that. Abundance is all about gratitude. I really do, because what's money for if you're not grateful for it anyway? There is a saying that if someone handed you $1 million today, you best become a millionaire with a millionaire mindset pretty soon, because if you don't have the proper mindset on what
You
that
will
million
lose that.
dollar
Yeah.
means, it's not going to stay with you, is it? It's just going to be
No.
pretty much just cash that went through your hands.
Yes.
It's
Correct.
not going to mean anything, because there's no meaning for it for you. There's no sense of, wow, this is something that
Yeah.
can change, you know,
And
something
what I
and do.
do, like what I do for my clients, mainly it's not just, I mean, I do go through their financial planning with them. So I will do all the nitty gritty details on how to allocate the cash, whatever cash that they do have, how to allocate them best to make sure they get the maximum optimum growth and all this, and to also prepare for any emergencies that come along, because life throws lemons at us and we need to be prepared to catch them. So that's what financial planning is for. But at the same time, the wealth mindset, that abundance mindset, is what's stopping you from achieving more. Often it's that's the main reason. Feeling that you are not good enough is what's stopping you from getting results.
Wow, yeah. So I mean, like, it's beautiful, because I think we need this so much, to have a wealth strategist, a financial planning session, not just with the financial planning part, but actually to make it holistic, to put that,
Yes.
to inject that fuel of meaning into it, and have that abundance mindset. Because I know, I can learn as much budgeting skills, as much mathematical skills, as much skills when it comes to where money goes and this and that, as much as I want to. But if I don't have the heart set and the mindset to
Mm,
be grateful for all of these that I am able to do, then it
yeah.
doesn't mean anything, does it? At the end of the day, it's
No.
just
No.
mathematical calculations.
No, and it's funny because most of the time the reason why we're feeling that we're not good enough is because of the years of conditioning. So there's a lot of people talking about, paradigms, and like Bob Proctor talks about paradigms, and there's lots and lots of coaches out there that talks about our paradigms. So it's so true, because the years of our conditioning from when we were a child, to all the way up as we reach adulthood, there's so much conditioning that's telling us that you're not good enough. And sometimes, at a certain age, when you reach maybe when you're a teenager, or maybe adulthood, people don't say it to you, but then the thing is, you say it to yourself. So you tell yourself that you're not good enough, or you're the one telling yourself, no, I can't do this, who am I to do this, all the imposter syndrome, all the negative talk. It's not conditioning anymore. It's more like it's within us. So that
Mm.
little voice in your head that's telling you
Big
negative
voice.
things. Yeah. Big voice, small
Yeah,
sound.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I wanted to also add on to that is that when Farah talked about paradigms that we have been conditioned to think when we were children of not being good enough, is a lot of times people don't, a lot of times we don't remember being told exactly you are not good enough. A lot of times it doesn't
Mm,
happen that way. Many
no.
times it's an experience, like your parents may have split up when you were little, and for some reason you
Mm,
felt like you may have been responsible for it. Or it could have been that if you're like me, I was a little child, and I was abandoned at a relative's house and suffered through so many traumatic experiences. I mean, I wasn't told that I was not good enough verbally, but the experience that I went through had made me feel. And so it's more about the feeling, and that's and that heart set. That's why it's so important that
yeah.
when we become adults, no matter how much we tell ourselves, I'm good enough, I'm good, it doesn't, telling does not really sink into the heart.
No.
And the heart is where the gratitude is. And so this is why this called the Atomic Self-Love Project, is because it's a process. Learning to love you is a process. It's not something that you can go to bed and tell yourself,
Mm,
I love me, and wake up tomorrow, I love me, and then you think it's going to work after 1 week. It's not.
no.
It's a commitment to yourself. And I think that, I know, Farah, having known you for a while now, you do have some really kick-ass tricks and techniques up your sleeve that you do every day, like a self-love kind of. So what do you do
I
just to,
do.
to manage? Yeah, to share with us.
Okay, well, there's actually a lot of things that you could do to sort of increase your self-love and self-esteem. So the thing is, you see, one of the reasons why we have low self-esteem is because we always fulfill promises that we make to other people, but we don't fulfill the promises we make to ourselves. So we are used to, letting ourselves down, putting ourselves last, holding ourselves back. So we're really good at that because we've been practicing that over and over again. So the thing is, one of the tricks is to do the things that you have promised yourself and you have not yet done. So I call this the procrastination diet. So what you can do is just 30 little things that you have not yet done and you wanted to do. So just simple ones. Okay, it doesn't have to be like, oh, write a book. No, just little things like maybe clean the room, or eat a salad or something like that. So just small little things that you can achieve. Put like maybe 30 of them, and then just do one each day. So I learned this in one of the courses that I did. So it's not my idea. I think I learned it from Robin Sharma. So I do a lot of personal growth, and personal growth is really crucial if you want to increase your self confidence. Okay, so procrastination diet is really good. You can try that. One more that I always do is something that Lisa Nicole shared with me before, which is the mirror activity. Yeah, so when you wake up, you look in the mirror, look in your eyes, and you tell yourself that you love yourself, or you tell yourself that you commit to yourself and you forgive yourself. So those are some of the things that you can do on a daily basis. To me, right, at the start it's gonna feel a bit weird because you've never done that before. like looking in the mirror, really look at yourself. But after you do it, like maybe like a week or two, you'll start to feel the change. So it's really, really good. And one more thing that I did, one more trick that I have, or like this I came out on my own, is that when I shower, right, I will just really caress, like, just be appreciative of your body. I'll be thankful for my hand, thankful for my arm, thankful for my shoulders, thankful for everything. So that is really good because I can feel like the vibration, like I'll feel good because I'm so loving myself, and it really helps.
That's powerful. That is so powerful because self-awareness, we are such touchy-feely beings. As Homo sapiens, we're made to touch and feel, and it's the easiest access point that we can do to access inside is to touch ourselves, is to just appreciate, and even the looking in the mirror. And when you said it's gonna feel weird at first, but then because I heard Mel Robbins talk about this about a month ago on a virtual summit, and she was talking about this is Mel Robbins is the woman who invented the 5 second rule. It's not
Yeah.
the one where you drop food and eat it after 5 seconds. Not,
No.
it's a different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look it up if you don't know it. But so she
Yeah.
talks about, when I wake up in the morning, I look in the mirror and I say to the person in the mirror, "You are a magnificent person." And I don't like saying anything bad to that woman because that woman has been through so much and she is awesome. And she talks about herself like it's a different person. And
Mm.
it's really
Yeah.
it's really a demonstration of self mastery, because because you are just an observer, and you're not
Yes.
exactly as a soul, the the human thoughts, but you can create that woman to be the best version of her, and it's all up to you. It's all up to that observer, to that soul inside. And I love that. And I love
Exactly.
how the it's funny you say about your trick, when you learn to really love yourself, caress and appreciate your body and your arms, because in a self-confidence challenge that I run, one of the things that I actually teach is to learn to learn to dance, and this is quite advanced actually, but learn to dance in front of the mirror naked. So it's just really have that
Oh, okay.
self-confidence that it's you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, right? So but yeah, so there are stages before that. If you don't,
Mm.
you
Yeah.
obviously start with just dancing as if no one is looking. And it's it's all about feeling who you are, and then knowing your
Yes.
superpower as a woman.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. So in
at the root of it, it's about, appreciating yourself. We don't do that enough. Like, we don't appreciate ourselves enough, and we so freely appreciate others. We give people gifts on their birthdays, on their whatever, like, and we thank people easily, but we rarely thank ourselves. So that's the thing.
yeah, and when you said we rarely ever deliver to ourselves the things that we promise to ourselves, but then we're so keen on making sure we please everyone else, and so
Yes.
we are
Mm.
always last on the list. And no wonder why we suffer with burnout and stuff like that. So it's got to be the reverse, right? Got to
Yeah.
have an overflowing cup before you can fill up other people's cups. So let
Yeah.
me just
You have
check
to give
the
from the
chat here. So
overflow.
yeah, so Kate said, "I'm going to try the shower thing." Good for you, Kate. Let me know how you how the self-awareness over time when you come back to the show next week. Yeah, so Polly says, "Love the shower strategy." It really is. It's so cool to be able to connect with yourself in
Yeah.
from the skin. Um,
Mm.
and Kate says, limiting beliefs are the things that are programming us from when we were little. So there's a saying, "Gratitude is the best attitude," says I can't find now. Kate says gratitude is the best attitude.
It
So I
is. It
wanted to
is.
ask you, Farah, when it comes to going back to as a woman and
Mm.
feeling like I've lost my dreams, and I want to say, for example, I have come to this precipice where
Mm.
it feels like I'm gonna fall if I don't look up and fly. So it's like you're actually having to make a choice. Otherwise, you're either just gonna go down into a rabbit hole, a spiral of depression, or make
Yeah,
a leap and a brave choice. But it's so scary. How do
I
you
know.
conquer the fear to choose yourself and to start to follow your dream, even just for one day at a time? What can I do as a person?
Seek for help. I would say, the best way to, because you do need help, because it is scary. So it's good if you could, get yourself connected to like support groups, or maybe to a group of like-minded women who's there to support each other. So I feel that that is crucial, especially at the beginning, when you're still trying to find your wings, and it's scary to fly. So I totally understand.
Yeah. And it goes both ways. That's just so true, so powerful. There's a program that I run called the Atomic Self-Love Project, and one of the modules that you do there is called the life inventory. And in order to sustain your fearlessness, you must spend the time that you need to do a little bit of an inventory of the people that are in your life. Because when you, even when sometimes the person who can help you is already right there in front of you, and even how much they want to help you, if you still got
Mm,
some toxic people that are trailing behind you and are shadowing you, your progress is going to be stunted. So it's just as
yes.
important to seek for that help, and also to recognize that there may be a lot of relationships or a couple of relationships that you need to let go of that have become toxic for you over the course of time, whether that is a friend, whether that is even a, I don't know, a marital spouse, whether
Mm,
that is a parent. I know there are parents out there that could just really, suck the life out of you. And most of the time they don't mean to do it. They're
yeah.
just the way that they
it's
are. So there's,
it's
yeah.
the environment, like literally you have to, if you're surrounded in an environment that is toxic, you have to get yourself out of that environment, because otherwise it's going to be counterproductive. So even if you're doing personal growth, even if you're doing the daily routines, or gratitude journaling, or whatever it is, if your environment is really negative or really toxic, or the relationships that you have are really toxic, it's going to be really counterproductive. So it's important that as you're doing the journey to self discovery and appreciating yourself and all this, it's important to get into an environment that is supportive. So an environment that is open, and receptive, and at the same time it's like a safe space, a safe space that you can be who you want to be, you can say what you want to say, and you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, yeah. And so here's what I want to ask Farah is that, so I feel like it's really easy to size up whether someone is helpful, someone is going to be there for us, that they're going to be, a beautiful influence in our life, because you use your heart on that and your vibration. But what I'd like
Mm,
to share with the audience, if you don't mind sharing, it's harder to actually it's, sorry, my phone is ringing. It's harder to let go of toxic people that are already in your life. Like, what are the ways that we can, number one, identify if they are toxic or not, if they are
mhm.
negative and bad for us? How do we pick out the signs and the symptoms? What are these things that we must look out for, and how do we start to obliterate them from our
Okay.
life?
um I guess you have to listen to yourself. You have to listen to yourself, you listen to your body. So if that person is good for you, then it's good for everything, like for your heart, for your mind, and for your soul. So if you're getting red flags, like if you realize certain things are not aligned, you have to be aware, especially when it's at the start. Because if you let it linger, if you let it go on, what happens is it's going to become worse, and then it's going to reach a level where it might get physically abusive. So like
Mm.
Grace, like your story as well, and many other stories that I've seen, like Smita's story as well. So things will escalate. So as soon as you see a red flag, you should um, confront it, or not confront the person, but rather confront the reality of it. Then you will realize that, okay, this is not going well. So what should I do? How can I fix this, or how should I change, or how should I refocus or realign?
Mm. It's in when you said about listen to yourself, listen to your body. It's also the same thing as when you do the shower thing, to be self-aware and to love yourself. To so it feels good, right? So it's the opposite thing of if someone is toxic for you, your body will literally tell you that they are
Yes.
bad for you, because you're gonna have like
Yes.
goosebumps, or you're gonna have headaches. You're going to
Yeah.
just, your body will actually tell you. It's a literally physical, visceral kind of experience. And
Yes.
here's the thing though, because I am really, I'm firsthand, I've done this to myself a long time ago, is what Farah is saying is, if you ignore the red flag at first and you let it, you kind of like, because your feelings of not being worthy enough is so powerful, that you try and put up with these red flags, and it grows into a disproportionate monster that
Mm,
becomes your life, that eats you up. And so it's the self-awareness is key, and
yeah.
seeking help will really, if something that's too hard for you to do, a little conversation with someone, even just a text message to someone that you trust. You don't have
Yes.
to explain in a text message a big long message. Just say
Mm,
something like, can we talk, or just reach out to someone. It's just so important. Yeah,
yes.
amazing. So I wanted to ask you about, so when you talk about getting results
Mm-hmm.
now, so we raise our self-esteem so we can get results. Many
Yes.
times we get little results, or maybe big results. We do get either big or little results, but life, like you said, throws us lemons, and we need to learn to catch them and perhaps make lemonade. So there are always ups and downs, right? So sometimes we
Yes.
might
There
get
are.
results and we falter back down again. But what does that mean? What does it mean when we're faltering, and we're winning and then we're losing? Is that a normal part
It's a
of
normal thing.
eventually
It's
grow up?
it's yeah. It's the law of the rhythm. Like, there's always going to be ups and there's always going to be downs. So what we need to focus on is, we need to realize what is within our control and what is not within our control. So life, whatever life throws at us, that's not within our control. But how we respond to it is within our control, or how we perceive it is within our control. So for example, if you've lost a loved one, there are many ways to deal with that as well. So you could focus on how sad it is, and how depressing it is, or you could focus on being grateful that that person has been in our life, right? Or the good things that that person, the memories, the good memories that that person left behind. So it's all about how you see, how you perceive things, or perceive the circumstances, and realizing, of course, when it gets to a certain point that it's toxic, to get yourself out of that environment and seek for help. If
Yeah.
let's say you are not able to do it on your own, then seek for help.
Yeah. So perception is a big part of self-love. Like when I lost my dad um a month ago, exactly a month ago today. We didn't actually it was unexpected. Um and the impact that it had on me was pretty, yeah, it was something that because I can count in my hands the number of times I've seen my father in my 45 years of age, because they separated when I was 3. But in those small number of times that I've seen my dad and spoke to him, the connection was so strong. He was one of those human beings that can really just connect to me in an instant like that, and just make me
Mm.
feel that he really loves me, that I am worthy, that I am special. And so
Yes.
my dad is a strong presence in my life. And to have heard that he passed unexpectedly was an experience that was, I can't really explain how it was. It was, and like you said, perception is key, right? So I could
Yes.
have, for a few days there, I had this perception of, I didn't speak to him as much as I should have. I should have done this. I shouldn't
Mm.
all over
Should
myself.
have, could have,
And
would have.
yeah, and so I was like, and it hurt so much. And I felt like, is this the way that my dad wants me to be? I asked myself that question. And then I realized that I connected with the love that he gave to me whenever we talked, whenever we saw each other. And
Mm.
then when I connected to that, just closed my eyes and meditated on it, I realized that if it was up to him, he would want me to keep feeling that I am worthy, like he always makes me feel. And to do that,
Mm.
I needed to change the way that I perceived his passing away. And so, like you said, I changed my perception, and I felt grateful that he was my father, and I felt grateful that he's in a better place now. And I'm grateful that because of his passing, I got to connect with other members of the families, like half siblings that
Mm.
I have all over the world that I haven't spoken
Mm.
to in
That's
decades. You know what I
beautiful.
mean? Like, yeah. So this is like an unexpected thing at a height of me doing things that I love doing. So like you said,
Mm.
life gives you ups and downs that are beyond your control. And
Yes.
these downs are not at all representative of the results that you are creating when you are in a grateful space. You just keep being
Mm.
in that grateful space, and that result will manifest itself, as long as
Yes.
you take care of the way that you perceive when the downs come to you. And so it's a skill that needs to be mastered. And
Yeah.
I encourage you, if you're listening to this tonight, and if this is something that's resonating with you, that you want to master this kind of skill, it sounds simple, but when it hits you, the ups and the downs, and how you're going to manage your
Yeah.
self-awareness and self-mastery, connect with me, connect with Farah. The links are Our links are above this video. Get connected, because being connected to the right frequency, and just the right people that can guide you
Mm.
on a simple message, is nowadays is priceless. Because in, I don't know, 20 years from now, there were no 20 years ago, 30 years ago, how old was I? Yeah, 30 years ago, there were no telephones hardly. So it would have taken you, I don't know, a few hours to just go and reach someone, to have
Mm.
a kind word, a connected word, a loving word. But now it's a simple few seconds message. So if you're someone out there who's really right now resonating to, how can I be more self-aware so I can access the highest version of me inside of me, that life purpose that's awaiting to be released, connect with anyone that you are resonating with. And Farah and
Yeah.
I are here tonight, so click on the links above, and feel free. We look forward to touching base with you. So Farah, I wanted to ask you, in the essence of time,
Mm-hmm.
um, I want to ask you last question. I think that this is really going to help people out there, especially we go back to the women who are at a stage in their life when they are starting to realize, hang on, I've given almost all of my life now to serving other people. What happened to me? What happened to my
Mm.
dreams? So
Yes.
can you share with us, when you to be able to uncover our dreams, what
Mm-hmm.
would be how do you just start simple, and drum up a dream? That's like a poem, but how do you actually, I don't know, put it into a visual, actually something that you can picture in your mind? How do you create a dream? Like, even that sometimes is a simple question, but people have lost the
Yeah.
ability to
Because
create a
we've been out
dream.
of touch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been out of touch with ourselves. So a lot of I know a lot of people out there, including myself at a certain point, are lost. They feel lost because they've been so out of touch with who they are and what they love and what they like and what they don't like, that they really have no idea what is their dream. So what I would suggest, something practical for you to do, is to just list down, what are the things that make you happy, what are the things that make you tick, what are the things that make you angry, or and what are the things that make you in the flow. So I remember, Grace, you mentioned at the start that some people, they're just in the flow and they keep getting results after results after results. And whereas, there's a different group of people who's struggling, and no matter what they do, no matter how many courses they go for, no matter how many mentors they spend on, nothing works. Okay, and this is very common, especially now that we're in this era of personal growth. I do see a lot of people who keep going courses after courses and then no results. So what is that thing that is not working for them? And again, that comes back to your heart set and your mindset. So the things that you learn, right? The things that you learn in a course, whatever course that may be, it will be teaching you skill sets, right? You will learn how to be better at whatever it is that you want to do. So for example, let's say financial planning, like for me. So I could be going to many financial planning workshops, right? To teach you how to explain better to clients, how to go through in detail all these things. But if I don't have the right heart set and mindset, I will not be getting results. So heart set meaning really, like, how hungry are you? How hungry are you for these results that you're seeking? Because it all comes down to desire, and the bigger your why, the faster you propel yourself forward. So if you don't have a strong enough why, you will not have something substantial enough to keep you going. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the mindset part of it is basically your perseverance, like, and your gratitude and all that. So it goes together. You can't just have your heart set without your mindset, or your like heart set mindset without the skill set. That's not going to work either. So it has to go all together. So a lot of people go into courses and they seek for mentorship and all that, and they're not having the right heart set and mindset. So that's the thing.
Yeah. So many nuggets that you've mentioned there, that you, like you said, the main thing is desire. And I always end up mentioning this book. I don't, it's just such a useful book. It's called Think and Grow Rich. And a lot of people,
Mm.
when they hear that title, they think it's about money. It's not. So this
Yeah, but
book gives you 13 chapters, and the number one
uh-huh.
chapter is desire. Yeah.
Yes.
It
And the thing is,
talks about,
so many people read this book. So many people read the book, but not everyone's getting results. So what's missing?
it's that, putting it, because it sinks in here, and it's not
Yeah,
enough. You've got to
it's
have
not
that
enough.
why. Like, why do you want to do this? Why do
And
you
you have
want to start a
to,
business?
yeah,
Yeah,
and you have
ask
to
yourself the
feel like
question.
you're worthy. And that's where the self-love come in. So how to have a good heart set, like how to have the right heart set and mindset, is basically to first look at yourself and be appreciative of who you are. Because at the end of the day, you know, we are all unique. Everybody has their own strength. Never ever compare yourself to somebody else, because there's no two that are the same. Even twins are not exactly the same. So we have to realize that there are strengths that only we do best, and everybody has something that they're good at. Everybody, even you watching here right now. So you have something that you're good at. So never ever discount yourself and think that I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, because you are good enough. It's just that you have been focusing on the wrong thing. So maybe you've been focusing on, the fact that you're not getting results, instead of focusing on what you're good at and what you are excellent at and what comes naturally to you, because that's your gift and that's only yours. and use your gifts to create the results that you want to create, and be worthy, be receptive, because oftentimes we are not letting ourselves get the results. We are not, there's resistance, the book also talks about resistance, and a lot of people have been talking about this as well. But when you have resistance, that's what's preventing that results from coming in. So you have to be receptive.
Boom. There you go. I mean, what more can I say? It's thank you, Farah. It's well said. Like it's I can't even like I don't have anything to add. It's a beautiful way to convey that even twins are not the same. Like you are unique and beautiful and special, and you've got something that no one else have got, no one
Yes.
else can do, no one else can ever create. And it's the focusing on what you can do with that genius zone, with that uniqueness, than focusing on why am I not getting this? Probably
Yeah,
because
own
that's not
it,
your flow zone. Yeah. Yeah.
own
So
your
it's
strengths,
amazing.
own your gifts.
Yeah. So go out there and get started tonight of writing down, what do I love to do? And how do I feel when I'm doing these things that I love to do? And how can I access these activities that make me feel this kind of amazing? And how can I sustain these activities? And who are the people that can support me to keep doing this? And who are the people who are always, negating these types of activities that make me feel good about myself? Maybe they need to go away from my life. And just make it simple like that. If you love,
Mm,
I know, if you love nature, write it down. If you love talking to people, write it down. If you hate writing reports, then you should write that down in the next column, because it's all about finding out where you flow, because you've got that's
yes.
something. Yeah, amazing. So we have come to the end of the show, which has really it's flown so fast. So
Yeah, I mean, if you
I
want to deep dive into each of the heart set mindset, we can go on for days.
Mm. So Farah, please let us know how we can have more of you and be connected to you, and just be in your state of grace. How can we connect with Farah?
Well, you can find me on Facebook. My name is Farah Buang, or you can find me on IG. I'm available there as well. So it's at farah.buang. And I also have my own Facebook page. That's more for my financial planning and strategic wealth help. So that's on Facebook page. So you can
Yeah.
click on the link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the links are above this video. And ladies, I also encourage you to join my private Facebook group, Empowered Healing and Transformation Women's Community. So Farah is in that group, and we can convene, randomly and once a week on a live video to share some life hacks on how to be awesome. I thank
Yeah.
you for your presence tonight, and I can't wait
Thank
to
you for
see you
having me.
again. Thank you, Farah. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye, everyone. Have a good weekend.